Welcome, family. I came live to do a quickie live. I'm not going to be here long, but I just wanted to talk about how the things we see happening now is the things that we already knew was going to happen. We already knew majority of the things were going to happen. So how we know these things, we know through self-knowledge. We know through um, allowing ourselves to be opened and to deal with higher spirits, to deal with higher self. And Trump getting into office was no incident. It was no incident. That was done by um, the spiritual world, and it was done, contrary to what a lot of people think out there, because a lot of people get their thinking points from from their enemy, from the enemy, from the ones that go against us. And it's quite frightening how some of our people's minds are not on the correct things it's supposed to be on. And you know, this is why we are in the predicament we are in, because we refuse to empower ourselves. We refuse to empower ourselves for some reason. And we get it. We get that things have happened, situations beyond our control have been thrown in the mix. And but that's why we have to deal with, you know, getting out of that, getting out from the grips of their controls. With first, it starts mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and then we can start working on the physical. Working on the physical. So if those who have eyes to see can see, those who have ears to hear, should hear. That contrary, I talked about what was going to go happen actually way before Trump came into office. So I knew what was going to happen, and I knew that we needed to throw a wrench in it. So I did witchcraft, right? But we call witchcraft. I did a ritual. And so we got Trump, but a lot of our people out there was hollering, was instead of, I mean, nothing. The thing about it is it brought us some time. It borrowed us some time, and that's what we needed. Um, it also, uh, gave us a lot of prophecies. A lot of prophecies made prophecies happen at that time. Oh, why did I do that? Let me bring that back up. Let me share my thing here. I'm sorry, guys. But it gave us a lot of prophecies, and there's going to be plenty of more prophecies we're going to see happen, because we're in for a battle. Don't be shaken at all about what's coming in the coming days and stuff like that. To me, that's just distractions, because what we've done here is because we're so economically behind them, we have gotten psychologically ahead of them. We have been able to see and start doing blocking of things to come. And I'm laughing because they're still they're at this point they're at this point stomped. They're stomped. And it's funny, it's hilarious how we done this. We talked about everything, what, 8 years? Time has flown so fast. We talked about all this stuff 8 years ago. Eight, wait, some of it about 6 years ago, to be exact, I guess, or 5 years, 6 years ago. And now it has all come to fruition. It has come forward. And, like we said, we just eat your popcorn and watch. Because at this point, the thing about it is people don't believe what other people say and don't listen to other people, and they may think other people are crazy. But the proof is in the pudding, and a lot of people have to sit back and second think about what you say, because it's how it got them reacting. That's the key. How are they reacting? How are they acting? They were very fearful, very, very fearful of Trump. Very, very fearful of Trump. But look, we can sit back, eat popcorn, and observe how they're acting now, what they're doing. And I see them breaking what they call democracy. I see them breaking what they call democracy. And then the people the people that don't see what me and a lot of other people have been talking about, they will see clearly. Those that are even on their side will start to see clearly. Those who really firmly, I want to say, I hate the word believe, but firmly believed in everything that they were told from these people, they are going to have open eyes and see. So let me see. I wanted to go over some things. The 7 principles of the universe. That's what I wanted to talk about too, right quick. I don't remember the exact years, but like I said, for those who had eyes then, you probably still, if you still follow me, you still around, they would know. Especially from Facebook. It's been done. It's over. It's been done. So all we do is sit back and watch. Let the side show begin. Hurry, step right on in. Okay. Principle 1 of mentalism. All is mind. Stretch the mind. You can stretch your mind so far out It's actually like exercise in your thoughts and go beyond just this thinking that we're at now. All is mind. Hold on. All right, family, I'm back. I'm so sorry. But we have the 7 principles here. And we said the first one was mentalism. All is mind. Hold on. The mind is, I always say over here on my channel, the mind is a powerful thing. And once, a lot of our people worry about, a lot of people worry about losing jobs. If you're worried about losing jobs, you got to think about that. Um, is that a life? You worried about bills? Is that a life? Think, is that a life? You know, that's slavery. That's slavery. That's not no life. That's not life. That's not what you were put here for. But they somehow have mentally controlled you to think and put you in the position and helped assisted you and with predatory loaning when you shouldn't be taking any loans or anything. We shouldn't be taking any loans or anything. We should be given so much. But I'm not going to go down that because a lot of people can't, they're not at that level. They're not at that level. A lot of our people don't know that we control this whole thing. And they don't want us to know that. That's why they feed us religions. They got you worshiping something outside yourself. And once you realize, I'm telling you, it'll be a lot of depressed people once they wake up and realize the fakery and what it and how it's got them stuck in the place that they're in psychologically. And that's it actually makes you willing to be stuck there. But you're not happy. And it's all through mental games. So exercise the mind, stretch beyond this thinking. Know that you're the all powerful, not some God outside of you that you never seen, never really did anything for you, but left you to fend for yourself. My God within me does not ever leave me. Ever. Because it is me, it's the higher me. So once we recognize that and connect with that, back to that source, that force, then we're balanced. We can be balanced. We can be on the road back to recovery over this world of degradation and decadency. Decadency. Okay, principles of correspondence. As is above, so is below. As is below, so is above. Same. Same. Vibrations. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. When I think about this, I think about principle number 3. When I think about that, I think about the point that when we're asleep, our body's still vibrating. It's vibrating and it's healing us. It's healing. The body is healing itself. And it's moving, constantly moving. We're still moving, even when we're asleep. Principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has an opposite, and opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Like good and evil. We talk about that all the time. They're one and the same. It depends on the perspective. What's good for me may not be good for you. What I can eat, somebody else may not can eat. They might have it come back up. It just doesn't agree with their stomach. Me, I can probably eat it all day long. It doesn't mean that it's good or bad. God and the devil, or God and Satan, they're the same. That's us. That's in our DNA. That's these principles. That's these things, these laws. That's everything. It's in us. It's one and the same. Life. Some people can't do life, evidently. I say evidently because they don't allow life. They don't allow for real life. But that's because they can't probably do life. Life probably hurts for them to live. It's probably difficult for them to live. So they have to steal other people's lives. You know, is that good or bad? Well, it's good for them because that's the way they have to do it. But it's bad for people like me because they're stealing my life. They're trying to take everything so they can live. Okay, rhythm. Everything flows out and in. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. Rhythm is number 5 principle. Number 6 principle, cause and effect. For every cause has an effect. Every effect has its cause. Number 7 principles of gender. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. We have both masculine and feminine aspects because we come from both the masculine and the feminine. And that energy, we have that masculine energy and that feminine energy. Just natural. It's natural. But we're dealing with some people here that like to keep you out of balance. If you know the history of the people that want to keep you out of that balance, natural balance that you were given, that you have automatically, then you wouldn't fall for their tricks of their trades into making you lesbian or to make you gay, make you think you're lesbian, make you think you're gay, or even creating a chemical imbalance within your body to make you feel like that or make you be like that, giving you too much feminine hormones in the body or giving you too much masculine hormones in the body. That's a lot of the foods we eat. So these are the 7 principles of the universe that are very critical, and they're naturally within us. That's how they're able to manifest into the words, into the meanings that they have for humanity. From our melanin, science. So now let's look at, hey, Donnie goes in. Yes, that would be great, Donnie, to start a series on universal law. Yes, there's all kinds of ideas that people can be getting into. I've been coming up with a lot of video ideas. I have so much interest. Writing, movies. There's a movie I just saw, and you better believe it was it has to be some extraordinary supernatural spiritual stuff going on in that movie. It was a great movie. Half Light. It was called Half Light, and it really was trying to me to watch that movie because I try not to watch. I'm very sensitive. So what I had to do was remember. I had to remember what I'm always saying. I'm saying death is life. Death is life. There's no need to allow because they like to control our emotions. And that's what many of these movies do. And they grab a hold of your emotions. And I don't like, and so I was tested in that fact aspect. So like I said, because in the beginning, a child passes away. But then the spiritual um, part of the movie, to me, I really like that. I really like that. And I was looking, and I was thinking about doing, maybe start talking about, have maybe writer's hour and talking about the different aspects of this movie that, because it was almost as if, it was almost as if um, the movie took you to a point in the beginning and you would think, well, you got to the plot immediately, it seemed like. But then no, one thing, you got to what happened to the woman immediately. And you understood what she was striving for, right? In this movie. But then she had so many obstacles to get to it that she was able, that it was just like, kind of like it's the truth. It's what your higher self takes you through. She dealt with spirits, and these spirits protected this woman. The spirits protected her. So, there's a lot of truth in this movie, Half Light, and I highly recommend anyone who wants to watch that. But I would like to also start talking about movies more and music lyrics. Like I said, I would like to maybe have a writer's corner or writer's hour and have writers come on the panel and talk about and we break down the movies and stuff like that. That's a great idea too. And then also, what else? There's just so many ideas, so many things to do, so much to do. I'm gonna write it in. It was called Half Light, and you must see it. It's a free movie. It's a free movie on YouTube. You can catch. Okay. Let me see. What else was I gonna? Okay, let's get into this next discussion here. Let me share my page here. But I'm planning another ritual. I'm planning another ritual, but I got to plan this out really well. I need to see if I need to really see where I'm gonna do this next ritual and what kind of ritual it's gonna be. I know I also was interested in getting some Latin lessons in, because I think that's another good idea. Start having a Latin class or something, having people, because many of the rituals that we do are good in Latin. It's really good in Latin. And if we can get out of the English language, which Latin is easier, then, but there's a lot of different languages. But I think Latin is a base language that is like the most easiest language to learn. And let me see, I guess I got this. Yeah, I got it. Y'all can see that. Let me see this here. Okay, this is Etymology of Black and More by Agul Anu. I cannot pronounce that. But this is the Westmoreland, England family crest right here. And I talked about tamare earlier. So I wanted to just, expand upon that information because it's important. Now, I was trying to find the map that shows tamare expanded across not just Africa, because it was a large, large empire, but it went all the way into Asia, Greece. It was Italy, um, and England. Well, Europe, period. I think Europe, period. Because we had the snake people of Ireland. We have these people of England. Um, and of course our ancient ones, the Greece and the in Greece and before it was Greece, um, and in Rome, of course. And so let's get into this etymology of black and more. The word black can be traced back to its Proto-Indo-European origins through the word black, which meant pale or wan, colorless or albino. Black was incorporated into Old French as blanc, Italian and Spanish as blanco, bianco, bianco, bianchi, bianchi. In Old English, black person meant fair, someone devoid of color, similar to the word blank, which still means white or fair person. In Middle England, English, in Middle English, the word was spelled as black. Same thing as modern word black. Only at that time, around 1051 AD, it still meant a fair skin or so-called white person. The word blacka, an Old Middle English word, still resonates with blank, the Dutch dramatic term for white people of today. Black in Old and Middle English. Thus, can see that the Old English black was relative to its black origin, as it was predominantly used as an adjective to describe color pertaining to matter that was colorless. Other cognates of black include examples like bleak, blake, bleach, and blanche. Good examples of use of black as something that meant blonde or fair can be seen in Old English literature, such as K. Alfred Bada from c. 890, where the following phrase can be found. Hafed, Blake, or full, meaning have blonde hair. Black's semantic shifts. It was not till the 16th century that the semantic broadening of black occurred, both figurative connotations as well as literal. From black, blake, bleaken, and their literal meaning to bleach out, or make white, blonde, or pale came the figurative meaning. To stain someone's reputation or defame or darken literally black by that time came to mean night, like color dark. One can say a very dramatic shift indeed, right? It was also the era when the Vandals and the Goths were busy writing themselves into history and writing out the European morals. melon cross or melanin people out of history. These additional meanings, however, was purely negative as their influence broadened. The semantic shift of black began to mean having malignant or deadly purpose and even pertaining to or involving death, like the Black Curse of 1583 and from previous centuries, the Black Death. Black underwent a final shift as K was added to the end of the word, and it became a new insulting manner of address the Moors, so-called blacks. But if you see, you can see that it's saying be lax, be lacking, that you don't have, that you lack. People that had lived for thousands of years in Europe and around, but were now hated and hounded, they were called the Queen's black enemies, the Blacka Moors, and finally just the adjective used as a noun for blacks. You definitely don't want to do a spell or do a ritual and call yourself black people, because then they're going to think that you're trying to do something for them, They're gonna it's not going to, basically it wouldn't work. So you wouldn't want to use this kind of language. You don't want to use, that's why we can't do a ritual in English, period. Because like I said, English is a curse. It's a switchery, and it's just not, it's not high vibrational English at all, language at all, I should say. The Europeans took away our names, called us niggers, coloreds, blacks, Negroes, Africans, sub-Saharans, etc. All those are insulting names. We are none of those, not Jamaicans, not Nigerians, nor Americans. We are more. From the most ancient time, Umoras, Mers, Maws, the children of light, the bearers of civilization and compassion, the golden ones, the first people, Ethiopians, Mauritanians, Okay. Check ancient history. You will hear of the Moors, but you will not hear about Negroes. The pale ones, the blanks, stole our names and pretended it referenced only some Arabs, Muslims. Conquest of Spain. Ain't that funny? It was a lot more. They were high priests from who got their education and their, that's why when their leader passed away, for some reason, it weakened everybody. You know, it's just like when he passed, they lost power. And I think, I really can't say why that happened, but of course he was still over in Tamare when they were conquering Europe. But he was their master teacher. And of these high priests, these particular ones that were in Spain that had conquered back Europe, and were trying to that, you know, I guess give some humanity to, or civilization to, the Europeans. So, okay, no, the Greeks knew the Mers. The Romans knew the Moros. The ancient Indians and Chinese too, because ancient Egyptians called their land Tamari, Tamari, or Tamori, the land of Mers. They were the seamen who navigated the globe and brought the light to all. They brought light to all. That's what I'm saying. That's what they did. We are those Mers. We are their descendants. We are not blacks, the Blanco people, the so called white people of today. They are the Blackas. Okay. And he gives some of his sources here. But yeah, Cheddar Man was black. Jack Brown, Rastafari comes in all colors and races. Became Hebrew. Study finds that this is where he got all this information. Yorubas are genetically 99% highly selected. But you know, the truth about the Ethiopians that we see today is that they're a bunch of mulattoes, but they're Italian. They're Italian mulattoes who took the land. Well, they didn't really take the land, but they just moved in on their darker brothers and sisters, you know. And now when you go over, you see majority of these Italian mulattoes, you know. That's clear to see. And a lot of people say, well, Ethiopia's never been conquered, or well, they didn't have to be because they mixed, majority of them, and you know, majority rules majority of the time, as we see here in America. So that's what happens there. He says, that was a trip when I heard that black really means white or without color. Yeah, yeah. And then I stopped saying it when I was back on Facebook because I realized that it meant that we lacked something. We didn't lack in color. We have color. We're very colorful rainbow people. That's what the rainbow represents, our chakras. So, and then that's when we see these UFOs, so quote unquote UFOs. We see, like right now, and I'm looking at rainbows in my house. It's kind of funny how you can look through something and it's like reflecting rainbow colors from the light. I think that's neat. While I'm sitting over here speaking about UFOs, that could be like many UFOs in the house. Because when I look over to my left, I don't see anything but the light. But I look straight ahead into the TV that's off. I'm seeing two rainbow lights right next to my lamp. My floor lamp. It's a floor lamp. And I think that is very neat. That is very neat. But yeah, in the future, I want to plan a ritual. And of course, I'm going to use Latin. And I think we should focus on Latin. And I'm thinking that we need to do more Latin lessons so we can learn, so our people can learn to do more rituals. Because I'm telling you that Trump didn't make office by incident. So I'm itching to do another ritual. I really am. I really am. But definitely this next election coming up, you see, we can do things without even being involved with these people. Did you see Clash of the Titans? Did you see Clash of the Titans? You see, but what were the gods? They were moving things like on a chessboard, right? And not only that, they were even able to come down and join in and then go back. Some I mean, I think, but that's what I saw in Clash of the Titans. I saw the gods looking at down, and then they actually joined in. Some of them, one of them did. At least I saw one. And until we recognize that we have that ability, and stop, but the problem is we got our own that want to take sides and get involved, and they get enticed to be involved, to allow these distractions, to do other things. They want to really live this life. I don't know. We live our experiences, but also there's a time when we recognize who we are, and be it, and do it. But yeah, like I said, I really, really seriously want to start looking at some Latin lessons. Yeah, I might have to get some, because I used to love Latin. That's why I love Clash of the Titans. I love Latin. I love their stories. I love the language. My name is Latin, so I just love everything about it. I was always intrigued by the language and the lessons of, you know. So, like I said, this was supposed to have been a quickie family. It wasn't supposed to be this long. Just to say that always remember yourself. Time has flown past us, but that doesn't mean the show is over, you know. So we continue with our popcorn and continue watching the fools. Everybody plays a fool. So it's our time to stop being the fools, and our time to start watching fools and how they get down. Okay. So with that said, thank you, Donnie. Thank you, people in the clouds. Till next time, always remember true love, real peace, and the higher self within the soul. Till next time, peace.